Okay, here's Ulrich all set up at his operating position on the USS SLATER today, September 19th, 2012. We're operating Special Events Station K2N. N stands for Navy. Aboard the historic ship USS SLATER DE-766 at the Port of Albany on the Hudson River, about 100 miles north of New York City. And Ulrich, looks like you got some interesting equipment here.
Yeah, well, we're actually testing prototypes of a number of things. The first of all is a new Big Ollie paddle. This is a prototype. It's not quite finished, but almost looks like the final version. And it will be called the Big Ollie Adventure. It's specially made for small rigs, and it comes with an attachment that is custom made for the KX3. So let me operate it here. Okay, so this is a Yambic paddle. Stan and Tony will be using single lever paddles of the same well, they're going to be called the Adventure Mono, so it's the single lever version of that same paddle. They look similar, but obviously they have only a single lever and are not designed for squeeze mode. I'm also trying out, what else could it be, a prototype software for the Big Ollie CW machine, which is designed to talk directly to the KX3. The Big Ollie CW machine does automatic logging. It picks information like calls, reports, names, and so forth out of the transmission and inserts them into log records. The computer that we see here is just a convenient display, so it would not really be required. And since the CW machine is a logging device, it of course needs to know, for instance, the band. And the prototype software that I'm trying here is designed to exchange band information directly with the KX3. So when you change the band on the KX3, the CW machine device will know what the band is for logging purposes. There's also some other stuff that's going to be exchanged, but that is a little more intricate and related to the special operation of the CW machine keyer. So what I'm using here is not the internal keyer of the KX3, but the CW machine, which then keys the KX3 transceiver. It's hooked up to the KX3 like you would hook up a straight key. So you adjust the speed here. Okay, let me well, and we'll see how these various prototypes live up to expectations here. Of course, they have all been tested at home, but sort of in a dry run, and we'll see how real life treats them and how they hold up to real life. And then I expect to see, production versions of the key and of the new CW machine firmware and software within the next couple of weeks. We'll see how this goes.
Here's the two local operating positions in the radio room of the USS SLATER. And there's a K3 set up on 40 meters and a KX3, a KX3 set up on 17 meters. Ulrich's over there on 20 meters, and he's using starboard side 80-foot vertical antenna. The KX3 on 17 meters is using a port side vertical antenna. And the KX3 here on 40 meters is using a 100-foot long wire antenna running amidships back toward the fantail, and you can see there's a little pigtail to hit the conductor in the ground. Guess we probably got a dirty coax coming into the KX3, but it certainly does like to tune it. There's no problem here. We get a 1-to-1 SWR on 7 megahertz. There's this old Super Regen, part of the Slater's restoration effort. Another one there. Lots of 1945 equipment here. And this is a very rare RCA TBL8 transmitter. I'm not sure about the details on it. I think it's a couple of 100 watts AM. And it was restored by a fellow in California named Tom Horsfeld, I believe. Horsfeld. WA6OPE. Understand it was quite a restoration. A lot of stuff had to really be gone over pretty thoroughly, and a lot of stuff had to be rebuilt, and there was a lot of scavenging going on all around to get replacement parts. But it's operational, and down below here, buried somewhere, there you go. There's part of it. There's a motor generator that runs it. So if I can get back here. This is the Radio Shack on a destroyer escort, a 1945 destroyer escort. There's one little room off here, which is where the, I guess, the communications officer or the comm officer would sit and do his stuff and decode. Normally a couple radio operators would be on duty. And that was about it.
Hello. My hang gliders down there.
It's 2:26 in the afternoon. I'm taking a break. Ulrich is on 20 meters. And he's working up a storm there. He's on the starboard vertical. We had to take Tony off the port vertical because it was just a matter of fundamental overload, and there wasn't anything we could do with any of the parameters on the KX3 to solve that. But we got him on a 12-foot whip antenna up on a flying bridge with about 200 feet of coax cable, obviously a very undesirable high-loss situation. However, the KX3's internal tuner is happy at 1-to-1, and Tony's making contacts all over the place here.
All over the world.
All over the world, work in Europe and every place. So, you know, go figure. You got the theory and the science on the one hand, and then you got what actually happens when you're out there on the other hand. And over here we got Mike, KE2EE, from the Slater's restoration crew. He's spelling me on 40 meters. He's made a few QSOs. Notice how we took this, this is the Bigali single lever, the Adventure Mono prototype, and it was swiveled over this way for me. I'm right-handed. Mike's left-handed, so we just loosened the thumb screw on the bottom. We swiveled it over there, and it works for left-handers too.
Yeah, it works real good.
And he's very
nice.
You're pretty happy with it,
Very
huh?
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd buy one.
You'd buy one?
I'd buy one.
Well, good. I'm sure Piero Bigali would like to hear that. So I'm going to buy one too. In fact, I'm going to start siphoning off the dog food money and the grocery money. When they go production, I'll be all set to go for one. I'm having a ball with it. I'm having a ball with the KX3 and having a ball making QSOs here on 40 meters. Okay. But it's the middle of the afternoon. It's kind of the doldrums, and we're making a few Qs here and there. But we figure things will heat up a little later.
Again, the second copy said 599 solid copy. So it's a second solid copy with this.
Yeah, and you're on a 100-foot long wire.
Yeah.
That 190-foot long wire, is that a separate antenna, or is that an extension of this one?
It's separate.
Where's that running from? Parallel to it?
It's parallel, and then it continues up like a V
Okay. So it's not usable because it's parallel. It's not usable. Same problem that we'd have with the whips.
Yeah,
You
side
can't.
by side.
Yeah, side by side,
It's just
separated by a
longer
few
length
feet.
If you wanted to
Yeah.
work another band, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing okay right now. So, all right, make some more contacts. There's the 100-foot antenna, and at that V is a 190-foot antenna. It's kind of like a sideways inverted V. The 100-foot antenna goes all the way down to that far insulator, and the 190-foot antenna goes over to the V and way up to the mast up there near the crow's nest. So those are the two horizontal antennas. The verticals, hang on a minute, I'll get closer. Alright, those are the wire verticals. We're on the port side, the left side. See them going all the way up to the mast. 160 feet, the other 70 feet. They're wire verticals. And there's the connection for the long wire antenna, the 100-foot antenna I'm using, 40 meters. Probably overkill for QRP, huh? But it works. It's 6 o'clock at night, very quiet, Radio Central, everybody's wearing a headset. Otherwise it'd be pure pandemonium.